The park and everything that you see here would really not have been possible without Dan Cause. As we continue to develop buildings here, our greatest sales tool is really the residents of the community. Dan is really the embodiment of that spirit of the community. The Master Association, which was an organization that was put into place to maintain the common areas of the whole development, essentially added the responsibility of taking care of the park. Dan would attend all of the board meetings and he volunteered a lot of his time.
I just wanted to make sure that the park stayed at the level that it was given to us. I wanted to get involved, and this is sort of my give back to society, to say, hey, you know what, I love nature, my wife loves nature, you know, we enjoy being out here with our dogs, and I wanted to give back to people and say, hey, you know what, I like it and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do.
He took on a lot of the projects in terms of managing the contractors and managing the various consultants and the people who are responsible for the upkeep of the park.
It's 6 acres, so to make it look grandiose, it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of work. It really helps to have the volunteers come out, put the plants in the ground, put the annuals in the ground. There's 125 lamp posts alone, so you can imagine that we have to change all those out. If people have a vested interest in the park, then they sort of think it's their own, so then they pay attention and they want to make sure that people pay attention to keeping it nice.
The park has a lot of little pockets around it. There are kind of contemplation areas. If you want to go read a book or maybe just meditate, there's areas for you to do that. We call the dog park the social epicenter of the neighborhood. You have the children's play lot. We have kind of a growing number of young families in the community. And the Great Lawn is probably the most obvious example. We have wonderful events here. We have farmers markets, we have movie nights in the park. There's a running race every year that sets up camp here. So there's a lot of events that utilize the various spaces.
It feels like your own backyard, your own private park. We call it our oasis in Chicago.
Dan took a seat on the board, but there was probably, and I'm estimating, 8 or 9 years where Dan did it without a formal position, just did it because he cared.
It's exciting to see that people appreciate it and get excited about it, because that's really what it was about, is to say, hey, this is a great park, this is your backyard, and enjoy it, it's here.